Hi guys, Kalurah Hudson here of While They Play Designs. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to do a basic granny square. And I have an example here of one. It's just a cute little square, and what we're doing is we're essentially just putting groups of 3 double crochets into a circle and just building on it in continuous rounds that are joined. So to get started, I usually like to start out with a magic circle, and the reason why is because you're able to close that gap. You don't have too big of a gaping hole in the center of your work. So, do our magic circle. And we're going to start off by chaining the amount of stitches that we need in a double crochet for a turning chain. So we're going to chain 3 in that initial circle. And now I'm going to work 2 double crochets into my magic circle. So there's the second, and then the third. So after that first little cluster of 3 double crochets, essentially, we want to turn the corner for that first square. So we're going to chain 3. You can also chain 2. It really depends on what shape you're going for. Chain 2 will give you a more rounded square, but we want a boxier one for this. So after the chain 3, we're going to do another set of 3 double crochets into our ring. So this will be completing our upper right hand corner of our square. So you can already see the shape of our square right here is coming together. So now to round the left corner of the top of the square, we're going to chain 3 again, and we're going to work another cluster of 3 double crochets into our magic circle. So 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to tighten this up so you can get a better view. We're really starting to see our square take shape, but we do have a couple more corners left, so we need to chain 3 to round this bottom corner. And now we're going to do our last cluster of double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3 double crochets into our loop. So now we're ready to tighten this up, and we don't want to forget we have this corner, this corner, this corner. We need our last corner to complete our square. So we're going to chain 3 at the very end of this round, and we're simply going to locate the top of that chain 3 at the beginning of our round, because that is technically the first of our 3 double crochets. So we'll count back here. 1, 2, so this would be the top of our turning chain, or chain for height in this instance. So slip stitch through both the loops on our hook. So that is the end of our actual first round of our square. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the yarn. And what I like to do, you don't have to do it this way, but I like to join on an opposite corner. That way when you're weaving in ends, they're not all in the same place and you don't have a big huge bulk of fabric when you've woven your ends in. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the opposite corner. I'm going to join my new color and chain 3 again, the same way I did the initial round. And I'll kind of work around the yarn tail that I've got going here. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets to finish off this 3 double crochet cluster. So there's our first 3. Again, chain 3 to round the corner, and do another 3 double crochets into this same corner space, and 3. Okay, so you can already see this beginning to take shape. We've rounded the corner here with our chain 3. To bridge this little gap here, we're just going to chain 1. It's not going to take a lot to get to our next corner, so just chain 1, and now work your next double crochet group of 3 into the next chain 3 space. So we have our 3 double crochets, chain 3 to round the corner, and work another cluster of 3 double crochets. So I'm just going to repeat this all the way around, and again I'm bridging this top gap here with a chain 1 instead of a chain 3. So I will meet you when I get to the end of this round. Okay, so we've almost worked all the way around. I just have 1 more double crochet left, And now, as I said, just to bridge that gap there at the top, you will just chain one and then locate the first of your double crochets, which is the top of your chain 3. Locate the top of that and go through both loops and do a slip stitch. And once you've joined that round, you can actually snip that yarn because we're done with it. Pull through. And again, for your next color, I just like to locate another corner that we haven't used yet. So we'll go ahead and insert our new color. And again, it's the exact same way. You're going to chain 3 to begin, do your cluster of 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space from previous. Then you're going to chain 3 to round your corner, and then the group of 3 double crochets in the same chain space. So I'm going to work all the way around here in this same color. Really, you can build on this. You can add as many colors as you want. You can make these squares as huge as you want. You can keep going, use all the colors in the world that you want, but you're going to continue to put clusters of 3 twice in each corner. And I want to show you how we're going to do this next part. As I said before, this group of 3 double crochets, we're just going to chain 1 to get over that. But now we have our chain 1 space from our previous round. All we're going to do in this chain 1 space is a group of 3 double crochets. That's all we're going to do. And we're going to do that with every row that comes after this one. So we've got 2 doubles, do our 3rd double, okay, and then we'll chain 1 to get to our next corner. So we'll just continue doing that, joining new yarn as we go and building on this granny square. So as you build on your rounds in your granny square, you're going to notice, if you take a look at this swatch, we just had our little grouping of double crochets here, and then we had our chain 1. So in the next round, we put our little double crochet into that chain 1. But then, since we had chain 1 twice on both sides of this cluster, our next round after that had 2 groups. So every time you chain 1 to get over to your next cluster of stitches, you're just going to work 3 double crochet into that space. That's all you're going to do. And then of course on your corners you're going to do a group of 3 double crochet, chain 3 to turn the corner, and then another 3 double crochet. But essentially that is how you make a granny square.